Right? You see that submersible there? It's taking this insertion tube down, slipping it into the leak or area of leak. It sucks the oil out while hopefully plugging the rest of it up and then whoop, sending it all the way up to a ship that's on shore, or up on the surface, I should say. Now, BP says this thing is working well. But then again, we've heard BP say a lot of things, haven't we? All right, let's get away from that animation for a moment, because there's another animation I want to show you, and I want to come over here. And to do that, I want to talk to Chad. How are you, sir?
Good, sir.
All right, look at this. All right, that is, I grew up right there. That's where I grew up as a little small child, right there. See? Little Ricky. This is the Gulf Stream. Okay. And this is important, because when I was fortunate enough to go and fish, I put a boat right about there, okay? Right about where that X is right there. And you know what would happen, Chad?
Yeah.
I'd sit there, and there was like a river under us. It was unbelievable. We're sitting in the middle of the ocean, and there's like a river going underneath our boat.
Correct.
It's if you've never experienced this, trust me, it's one of the most fascinating things you could ever experience. It's like a river going through the ocean.
And there's mahi-mahi in there, and there's wahoo in there. And
it's great fishing.
Of course, you weren't out there just to look at the water.
But here's what you and I are going to talk about, or here's what I want you to explain to me. I'm thinking out loud here. If there is a whole bunch of oil right there,
yes,
somewhere under the water, will that stuff ever get picked up and sent in here, into this area, or even into this area up here?
There's no question.
Take it away.
There is no question, although at least for now, Rick, the oil is only here. Not quite into this loop current, although little eddies are breaking off.
Well, what about the stuff under, because I keep reading, and I don't mean to interrupt you, but I keep reading and hearing from some of the folks at NOAA that we're seeing a little bit of the water of this oil on the surface, but there may be a ton of the stuff just sitting where nobody can see it.
Maybe. Maybe. Did you read Dr. Lubchenko's latest thing?
No, I heard.
It says the media is way off base on this. We don't know anything yet. Step back, take a deep breath, let us figure this out. Yes, there was a ship. Yes, they did some soundings under here. And yes, they found something. They have those samples. They brought them to the surface, and they're analyzing to see what they are. Are they dispersants? Are they oil? Is it something completely different? They don't know yet. But if all of this is under the water as well, then there may be a couple ways it got there. It may be trapped because oil just can't get through some of the thermoclines. Right. It may have gone to the surface originally, evaporated, and then sunk back down. Or it may be just on its way up. You know, it takes some time for that oil to go. You shake a bottle of oil and vinegar, it doesn't separate right away. It takes a while to get up there.
That's what worries me. I mean, look, there is a place called here, you're familiar with this, it's called John Penny Camp. John Penny Camp and Biscayne National Park, one of the only underwater national parks in the continental United States.
Right.
I'd hate like hell to have a place like that suddenly full of oil. It'd ruin it. It would ruin that part of Florida.
Let's just make this a little bit easier to understand.
All right.
Shall we?
Go.
Let's go with what's called the loop current. We talk about the loop current during hurricane season. It brings up water from the Yucatan Channel all the way up into the Gulf of Mexico, turns it, and then it turns into the Gulf Stream that you used to fish in. Right there. There's no question that oil is going to get into this Gulf Stream and eddy its way up along the East Coast.
Really?
There's no question.
So it's a question of quantity.
Exactly.
All right.
It may be 3 months, it could be 3 years, but oil will eventually make its way up here. The oil doesn't go anywhere. Yes, little microorganisms eat it, but there's a lot of oil here, millions and millions of gallons here. It's going to go somewhere. It could even go to Europe, way over to England. Right? So that's part of the loop current, and that's what we're showing here. So I didn't want people think that there's some kind of snake in the Gulf of Mexico, but this literally is the warm water that we follow for the hurricane. Katrina got right there in the loop current and exploded.
And it is like a river. I mean, literally.
It absolutely
like a river in the ocean.
It's a current. It's a river of water that does that.
One more thing before I let you go. Hey, would you be able to show us that animation one more time of that tube, that insertion tube as we called it? Have you got that, Raj? Put that up. I just want Chad to give us a little take on what he's got on this. Viewers are looking at it now, Chad. There it is.
You remember the video that we had last week of the oil and the natural gas pouring out of the end of that pipe.
Right.
Well, now they inserted a smaller pipe into the pipe, so they can't get it all. But they think they're getting 20 to 30% of it, which means some still coming out. But any drop is better than none. They're going to try to make this better, more efficient, and try to get more than that. But it's not the only leak. There's still another leak on the riser.
Exactly.
Once you plug one, you make more pressure here, you make more pressure
even if
there.
they took everything out of this one area where they're inserting that tube, you still got more oil coming out another end.
Yes, the other end, down upstream. The other hole is upstream.
Yeah,
so
great.
the more you plug this up, the more pressure there is upstream, and it comes out upstream even harder.
You do good explanations.
You know.
I'll come back and we'll talk again, okay?
Okay.
In the meantime, what I want to do is I want to catch the viewers up on what else is going on.